Alright, so that thing just cut off, but that's alright. What I was saying is, the Lord's men are blowing the trumpet. And a trumpet is a musical instrument, and you use the instruments to make music. So let's get that verse. We have piped unto you, KJV, is in Matthew 11 and 17, right? Because we're blowing the trumpet, right? It's a warning. Trumpet is in the ancient world was used as a warning. It was used as an instrument of music, just like now, right? And it says right here. It says, I'll start at 15, Matthew 11 and 15. He that hath ears to hear, let him hear. But whereunto shall I liken this generation? It is like unto children sitting in the markets, and calling unto their fellows, and saying, We have piped unto you, and ye have not danced. We have mourned unto you, and ye have not lamented. All right, so that's what it is. The prophets would be those children sitting in the markets calling unto our fellows, and the Israelites are the fellows, and we're the ones saying, we're the children in the market saying, hey, we're playing the pipes. You're not dancing. We're mourning. The men who are in the streets are sighing and crying, aka mourning in the streets. But you're not lamenting with us. And it's because you don't care about the trumpet. You don't care about the warning. You don't care about the state of your people. And you don't really, at the end of the day, you don't even realize who your true people are. Because the Israelites, who are of the 2/3, they really could care less about this knowledge and about this truth. So they have there's no, like what does it say, a proverb in the mouth of a fool is basically useless, right? That's how you 2/3 are. Let me see. Let's get that real quick. Proverbs 26 and 7, it says, The legs of the lame are not equal, so is the parable in the mouth of fools. Right. So, if you had a man who is lame, who can't walk, he's useless. He can't walk. He's stuck right there where he sits. And that's how you Israelites who don't believe, a fool is a non-believer. So you Israelites who don't believe in this knowledge and this truth, because to you it's useless, right? You don't have reverence. You could care less about the scriptures. This is a parable in the mouth of fools. So these parables, it's just like that lame man that can't do shit. You can't do nothing with a parable. You can't appreciate the parable. You can't understand the parable. You can't break down the parable, And why? Because like we always tell, on the street corners, we're constantly telling people it's not for you, right? And your spirit bears witness. We know, after just a little bit of testing the spirit by the spirit, we know we have a pretty good idea whether if you're of the elect or if you're of the 2/3, right? So as Hosea 8 and I'm at 12. It says, I have written to him the great things of my law, but they were counted as a strange thing. And that's how you 2/3 look at this, at this truth. That's how and we're actually, Hosea's talking about, he's going in on the northern kingdom, which again would be you so-called Latino, Hispanic, Native American tribes. Hosea's going in on you because he's talking about you right here. He said, I've written to him the great things of my law, which that's the Lord speaking through Hosea, but they were counted as a strange thing. And that's how you people look at the laws of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Like we tell you the women can't wear pants, right? And you women get all offended. You look at that as like, oh, that's not, I'm not going to follow that law. That's a dumb law. But a real woman, that if this truth is really real to an Israelite woman, she'll repent and she'll feel like the Lord will put a spirit on her to have pleasure in wearing woman apparel, like a dress, you know what I'm saying, or a modest modest apparel. Or if we tell you that, you can't eat the pork, you say, oh man, well, God's not going to kill me for eating pork. That's stupid. But you see, you look at that law as a strange thing. There's all kinds of laws that the Israelites look at as strange. And really it's because they've been in captivity too long. You see? So let's read 13. They sacrifice flesh for the sacrifices of mine offerings and eat it, but Yahweh accepted them not. Now will he remember their iniquity and visit their sin, and they shall return to Egypt. All right, and so this is all of the wickedness, all the hired lovers that you Israelites have encountered and accepted. Again, remember the hired lover is a parable for the other philosophies, the other doctrines. You're because of the way our people are into these false doctrines, these philosophies that are not of the scriptures. And like I said earlier, anything that does not pertain to Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai, anything outside of that, if you're an Israelite and you're worshiping something outside of Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai, well, guess what? You're the one he's gonna remember for your iniquity, and he's gonna visit you because of your sin. And like in Hosea's time, you got to remember they were in the Babylonian Assyrian captivity. And it says, they shall return to Egypt. And the word Egypt is a Greek word which means bondage. And in ancient Egypt, we were slaves, right? So this is why Hosea, it says they shall return to Egypt, because that's the prophecy. It came to pass once again here in spiritual Egypt, which is America. So the northern kingdom, hey, even though, because remember, it tells you let's grab it real quick. It's in Esdras, 2nd Esdras 13, I think 41, around there. It says, this is it. Let's start at 40. It says, and remember, this is the northern kingdom. This was during the Assyrian captivity, and the king was Hosea, the prophet Hosea. Watch, let's read it. The 2nd Esdras 13 and 40, these are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, and Hosea is Hosea, whom Salmanassar the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, so they came into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. And this is talking about the Americas. This is our people. The northern kingdom took counsel, and they said, we need to leave. We need to get the hell out of Assyria, because we can't keep our laws here, right? Let's keep reading. That they might keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. Statutes is another word for law. All right, it says in 43, and they entered into Euphrates by the narrow places of the river, for the Most High then showed that signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Arsareth. Okay, and Arsareth would be later known as the Northern and Southern Americas, North and South America. Okay, and this is why when the Northern Kingdom, the ones who you call Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, this is the journey they took in the Bible. And this is why when so-called Columbus so-called discovered America, that you had Israelites over here on the Americas, because of this account that we're reading right here during the time of Hosea, right? So let's go back to Hosea 8. So remember, then our people during the time of Hosea, they left to the Americas. And then let's read this verse again, now that we understand the context of what happened. Verse 13, they sacrifice flesh for the sacrifices of mine offerings and eat it, but Yahweh accepted them not. Now will he remember their iniquity and visit their sins. They shall return to Egypt. So guess what? Egypt came to them, if you really think about it. Because guess what? Hosea, the leader, the king of the northern kingdom, which today are the so-called Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you were colonized by the Europeans. That's why when it came back up here, what does it say? Something about the eagle. Let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah. Set the trumpet to thy mouth, he shall come as an eagle against the house of Yahweh, because they have transgressed my covenant and trespassed against my law. All right, and that eagle's talking about those, those Edomites that came and destroyed you and conquered you and colonized you, and made you their subjects. Because this prophecy came back to pass, right? And now verse 13, it says, they shall, remember Yahweh is going to visit your sins. And why? Because you northern kingdom Israelites were, sacrificing unto idols. You were hiring lovers, all your different doctrines. It's a punishment. This is why the so-called white man is your daddy here. I was just watching this, something, it popped up on my YouTube. It had some dude, Chief Bob or some bullshit. And he was wearing his big ass headdress, and he's in one of those councils of like a Senate group. I don't know if brothers saw that, but he's basically kissing the white man's ass, and you can see the fake Jew Amalek in the back in one of the seats, one of the higher seats of the cabinet or whatever it was. And it was like a Senate type setting, and you had this dude in a headdress, and he's sitting there like basically telling the white man that he was his daddy in so many words, right? So that's why you went into captivity. That's why the Lord brought that destruct or that oppression as an eagle. Tells you all that about all that in Deuteronomy 28. Towards the end of Deuteronomy 28, in the 40s, the verses starting around the 40s area, you can read about where the so-called white man was going to come in as quickly as an eagle, and he was going to come with a tongue that you didn't understand, and so on and so forth. All right, but this all came to pass, what we just read. So let's read 14. For Israel hath not forgotten his maker, and built the temples, and Judah hath multiplied fenced cities, but I will send fire upon his cities, and it shall devour the places thereof. Right, and that also happened too, because while the northern kingdom Israelites was getting fucked up by the Europeans, prior to that you had the Romans, who went through and burned down Jerusalem, where Judah was dwelling. So both of these prophecies came to pass already. And you're gonna still, if you're a 2/3, if you're not worshiping Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, you still got hell to pay when Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, visits the earth during the time of World War III, when the missiles start getting shot off. All right, so Yahweh's word is faithful and true, man, and the prophecies will never change. The prophecies are always going to come against the heathen and the 2/3. The one who's going to receive mercy is the remnant, the 1/3 of Israel, who repents and comes into the names of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and you're going to be that portion of Israel which is reserved unto salvation. So with that, I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem Rekah Qudash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also, I want to acknowledge all the Akim who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom to the elect. Shalom.